Dude, it's the Halloween costume that won't end. It's so funny. Every year people send me, like, oh, look what I see. It's like New York Street, like sometimes it's an 8-year-old girl. Sometimes it's, sometimes it's a whole family dressed as the Tenenbaums. It's pretty great. Hi, Vanity Fair. I'm Gwyneth Paltrow, and I'm going to watch some scenes from throughout my career. Here we go.
What do you want me to do? On the table over there, that is irrelevant.
Oh my God. Oh, I remember this scene.
And you're just gonna gently lift the wire out.
Is it safe?
It's not a great wig, guys, let's face it. So basically what they did was, from here down was prosthetics, like a fake body. So he was lying on a table and his body was like underneath the chair, and then they put this fake torso with the hole in his chest. And then in there they put, it reminded me of like, kids slime, like from Nickelodeon. It was like this sort of, greenish kind of slime in there. Yeah.
Oh, there's pus.
It's not pus, it's an inorganic plasmic discharge. It's from the device, not from my body.
It smells.
Yeah, it does.
We had so much fun on this movie. It kind of felt like an independent movie in a way. Jon Favreau and Robert and I kind of improvised all day, every day. There was a lot of rewriting, and we would go to Jon's trailer in the morning and the three of us would kind of improv, which is not typical on like a big budget action movie. But Jon is so brilliant, and he really wanted the movie to feel like it had this reality to it. And it was very character based.
What's wrong?
Nothing, I'm just going into cardiac arrest because you
What?
yanked
I thought you
out
said this was safe.
Out lure. We gotta hurry. Take this.
Okay.
We gotta switch it out really quick.
Okay. Tony,
What?
it's gonna be okay, okay? It's gonna be okay. I am gonna make this okay.
Now I'm all engaged. I want to know what happens. My heart's pounding out of my chest. I don't know, we had a really good time. There was no pressure on us. Nobody thought it was going to turn into anything. And the studio felt like, they had taken this big risk on Robert as a leading man. And they're like, oh, it probably won't even like be a hit, And then it came out and just changed the course of that studio.
Did you ever imagine that when you first signed on that you would end up in 7 films?
That can't be right. I can't have been in 7. Is that true? One time I didn't realize I was in Spider-Man. I was like doing a scene with Robert and Jon Favreau, so I thought it was a cameo. They're like, it's another, anyway. And it turned out I was in Spider-Man. I didn't even realize.
Do you think you'll end up in Brave New World?
What is that?
You Captain America.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think I would have known by now. I may, we'll see. I don't know. They keep it all very top secret, They think they're the CIA or something over there. And then it's like national secrets, like who's doing what and who's what. That's why I didn't know I was in Spider-Man, because they never said. There were no signs that said Spider-Man. The script didn't say Spider-Man. It's all the secret.
Did I hear something about a substitute?
Yes, it works.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, what the hell?
Hola, clase. Nothing says bienvenidos quite like a buttered floor.
I was living in London at the time and really not acting much and kind of focusing on my kids and my burgeoning business. And at the time in England, you would get everything from America culturally would be like a year later. It would always happen that people would be like, oh my God, you've got to watch, 24. And then everyone would talk about something so much. And then by the time it came to London, it would be like, have I missed the boat? I got a call saying there's this new TV show and it's this big hit. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like I called my brother, it's like my best friend, and he's a filmmaker. And I said, I got offered this TV show. Obviously, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not even acting right now. But what is it? Like, they said it's a big hit over there. It's called Glee. And my brother was like, you have to do it. It's this really fun. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just, I'll read it. And it was so delightful, to get to sort of speak Spanish and sing and play guitar and do all the fun things. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go do it.
And I'm sorry, I can't afford a Ferrari, but that don't mean I can't get you there. I guess she's an Xbox, and I'm on a Atari. But the way you play your game ain't fair.
Oh my gosh. I had never done TV, even though I grew up. My dad made TV shows, and I'd grown up on TV sets my whole life. I'd actually never done a TV show, so I didn't understand those dynamics of like different directors coming on. And, you're definitely walking into like this pretty fixed dynamic of all the people, how many pages they shot in one day. Like, it kind of blew my mind. In a movie like Iron Man, you could shoot like a third of a page for days if it was an action thing. And this was like 3.5 pages in half a day sometimes, like, or a musical number in half a day.
Well, ooh, I got some news for you.
So it was sort of breathless and very, very different for me, but I liked it. I felt like it was really efficient, and it was nice to get to know all those guys. And it's really, it's like I was just watching it and so struck by the fact that, 3 of those cast members are not with us anymore. It's like life changes so much in the course of these years. It was really fun, and obviously, that's where I met Brad, who became my husband. He was a producer on the show, and we were friends. We became friends for years, and then we ended up getting married years later. So it was obviously a very important moment in my life, a very consequential decision, a very important sliding doors moment. See what I did?
I want you to come back to me, Ellen.
God, I haven't seen this movie in a really long time.
We're so good together.
Gosh, I look like my daughter. Oh my God. You know who did that haircut? This guy who's sitting right over there all those years ago. Isn't that funny?
I'm late, Jerry. 4 days. I'm never late.
Russell, look, hi. Look, mate, can I ring you back in a few minutes, yeah?
I remembered this, and then she goes and does that like star 6'9" thing. Oh boy. He's in for it now, guys. Detective work in that 90s Calvin Klein. That's what's happening. At the time, I was kind of a muse for Calvin, as they say. And so he was dressing me a lot for things. There was kind of an inherent power that you felt wearing those suits because the lines were so clean and sharp, and it was so flattering. I think I also was playing this very English girl, from sort of Chelsea, and it's a very specific accent. And I kind of liked the idea of wearing this American designer, bringing it over to the UK.
Why are you pretending I'm Russell? You know I hate that. What's going on? Jerry, answer me. Who's there?
It's Helen, actually. We met once. I interrupted you faking your orgasm. Sorry, I can't be more specific.
I think it's a film that people actually reference a lot. They'll say like, oh, I had a sliding doors moment where I could have gone this way and I went this way. I really felt for both characters when I was playing them. I mean, the one with the brown hair is obviously a bit more, the wool's still being pulled over her eyes. She's not empowered yet. So we kind of find her at a very different part of her journey, as opposed to the short blonde Helen, who's already kind of like, cast off this idea of who she's supposed to be, and she's kind of making her own way. So I was very fond of both of them, but, I can't choose favorites.
I found Dickie's rings.
What?
You have Dickie's rings.
I can explain.
He's busted, guys.
Dickie promised me he would never take off this
Let me
ring.
put some clothes on and I'll
I
come out
have
and
to
we'll
tell
talk
Mr.
about this.
Greenleaf. I have to
Marge, come,
tell
Marge,
Mr. Greenleaf. I have to
Marge,
tell Mr.
you're being
Greenleaf.
hysterical.
He promised me, I swear, I will never take off this ring.
Shut up!
I loved working with Matt, and Matt is like one of our national treasures in a way. Like, he's just such an amazing American actor. He was so dedicated and so in it, and acting with him was really inspiring, and And Easy, I always said he should have won the Oscar for this. I loved working with Jude as well, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, of course, who was like one of the best actors I've ever worked with. When you work with a great actor, they're giving you so much, and then it helps you get into what you're doing, and then you're giving back, and it's kind of like this feedback loop of creation that's happening. And I think that's what was happening here in this scene. You know, it's a little bit of like a horror scene that I know that he's coming towards me and likely gonna try to kill me.
Why do you have Dickie's rings? I told you, he gave them to me.
Why? When?
I feel as if you haven't been listening to anything I've been saying to you.
I don't believe you.
This movie's definitely in my kind of top 5, I would say, of movies that I've been in. I'm really proud of it. And it's funny too, because when it came out, it wasn't like a big hit, and it got good reviews, but not amazing, and didn't get a ton of award buzz or anything like that. And I think people at the time were surprised because they thought it was, a lot of people thought it was such a good movie. And it's nice to see it really stand the test of time. And, you know, so many people come up to me and say this is their favorite movie. We rehearsed a lot in Rome, which was fantastic, and shot some in Rome. And in fact, I think this scene takes place in Rome, in Cinecittà, if I remember correctly. That famous old studio there. I mean, it was magical to be in Italy and every location that we went to. It was also a hard time in my life. My father and grandfather were both diagnosed with cancer while I was on this film. And so I felt also very far away and kind of helpless, and went into a bit of a downer while I was filming, as you can imagine, and went home, you know, for surgeries and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a heavy time as well. People say to me all the time, that must have been the best time. And like, yes, and, you know, but it was sort of a particularly hard time in my life personally, I would say. But I loved making the film, and my best friend from 7th grade on, like, she was taking a work break, so she came and was my assistant for the whole time. We had the best time. It's iconic, let's face it. I mean, Nico, it's such a perfect song, you know, for the scene. I didn't really realize that it was going to be done in slow motion, and it was going to be this like incredibly emotive, evocative moment. This is a complicated dynamic, right? It's like you have a brother and sister. Yes, she's adopted, but you know, there's this clear romantic love between them. It's an unusual dynamic, I think, to explore. I do think that when something is impossible, or when there are huge obstacles between people in fiction, in novels, and the longing that comes from that, it's a very powerful dynamic, I think, to watch as an audience.
Stand up straight and let me get a look at you. What's so funny? Well, it's nice to see you too.
You know, Wes is such an incredible director. He's so unique in the way that he tells stories, and this love story, it's so emblematic of Wes and the way that he is able to find these incredibly creative and novel ways of expressing emotion. I loved playing Margot. I mean, she was so weird and awesome, and you know, I had such a good time being her. And you know, there's that other like make-out montage, you know, in the movie where you see like how wild she actually is, but yet, you know, she's so sort of contained and pulled together, sort of, you know, that's what she presents. I don't know, she was rad. Dude, it's the Halloween costume that won't end. It's so funny. Every year people send me, you know, like, oh, look what I see. It's like New York street, like sometimes it's an 8-year-old girl, sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's a whole family dressed as the Tenenbaums. It's pretty great. I did not keep the fur coat. I mean, yeah, it was, or the Birkin bag, by the way. Okay, they were very cheap, and they did not give me any presents at the end. I do have the penny loafers, though. Oh, this one.
True apothecary. My drugs are quick. That's with a kiss.
He's doing some good poison acting. He's good. I did think the conceit of it to do a movie about the writing of Romeo and Juliet and seeing all of the, romantic inspiration for it. I think there's just something so beautiful, but also everybody's on the inside of the joke because everybody knows the play. In language today, we reference Romeo and Juliet all the time. And I think it really is about romance and longing and true love and being in love with somebody that might not be the person that you get to end up with and the pain in that.
Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
This film was so much fun to make because the act of doing a play while you're being filmed, making a movie at the same time, is something that I don't think happens a lot. There are not a lot of movies about plays being made. Normally when you're doing a movie, you're just acting in front of, like us here. It's just like a few people, a small crew. But for this, we were performing these scenes in front of a full house of people. So the energy was very electric in there, and we're trying to entertain everybody. I've learned at this point to never say never. You always have these ideas about what you're gonna do or not do or how you're gonna spend your time, and then life just throws you one curveball after the next. So this film, Marty Supreme, that I finished recently, it kind of is a return to that mid-budget film that they used to make. It wasn't done on a shoestring. It was like a well-budgeted film, not like action movie kind of budget, but enough to make a beautiful period piece. It takes place in the 50s and in New York City and in London and in Japan. Josh Safdie, the director, called me and basically said he wanted me to do this film. And my head was so out of the game. I had really stepped away from pursuing acting full time because I had kids and I didn't want to be on location and away from them. And, I remember I was doing this movie Country Strong and I was missing bath time, and I was like, crying in my trailer, like, why am I missing, They all went to college, and my husband Brad and I found ourselves, we don't necessarily need to orient around our lives, that quotidian daily, like that schedule that we had since they started school. And I think we wanted to sort of index into that freedom a little bit, explore being on the East Coast a little bit. So it just kind of worked out. But again, my brother, who's an amazing filmmaker, was like, you're doing it. Just say yes. Josh Safdie is incredible. Just do it. So basically, I guess my brother's responsible for all my important career moments. And that's what we're taking away from this today. And I don't know if I'll be doing more. I don't know. It depends on Goop and kind of if I can wriggle free to do another little part or not. But I don't know. TBD. We'll see. It was amazing to take this trip down memory lane, so thank you for that. I'm stunned at how my daughter and I are like the same person when I see myself in my early 20s. It's remarkable. I've been very blessed, and I've been able to travel all over the world and work with amazing people and do, a few pieces of art that have some staying power. So, that's, what more can you ask for?